Having newspaper reporting experience on my resume was always helpful when it came to job interviews, especially since for years I had a habit of jumping from job to job, hopping from job to job, whatever you want to call it. They always wanted to know what it was like to be a newspaper reporter. I would tell them a few stories, and usually after that it was easy to talk my way into the job. And for the most part, these were jobs that you could just learn on the go. You know, by day 3, you pretty much had it down pat. But I recall one time having that experience on my resume backfired. I applied to an auto body company as a delivery driver slash chauffeur. The gist was that I would move cars from location to location and drive customers that were dropping off their vehicles back home or go and pick them up. Pretty simple stuff. And it was in the income bracket I had gotten used to. Just enough to get by, with a few perks every now and again. They call me up for an interview. It's a family owned and operated company. The mom and pop of the organization, as well as like an office administrator, either way there's a third person there, and they started asking questions, and it didn't take long for me to realize something was odd or different. I was expecting to answer a lot of things about, my geographic knowledge of the area, my customer support kind of experience, my really, really excellent driving record, that kind of thing. The mom and the mom and pop was definitely interested in the customer service experience, as well as the journalism, communications, computer knowledge, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I get it if I have to keep some kind of spreadsheet for mileage or something like that. And that's when the service manager came in, and I was introduced as the auto body service advisor candidate. That was news to me. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Then, led by the mom of the mom and pop, the rest of the meeting became them selling me on the job. I could tell at the time that the service manager held some serious reservations about it, and I agreed with him. He asked a lot of technical questions, whereas everybody else kept on asking about the journalism, communications experience, anything else they found of interest on my resume, and they would always punctuate it with, oh, you'll be able to learn it. This went on for a solid 15 minutes. Me politely saying, I have no knowledge of any of this. Completely underqualified. This is an amusing misunderstanding, but I'm going to have to decline and, peace out. I'm out of here. That's when the mom and the mom and pop operation told me the salary. It was double what the delivery driver position paid. I paused, wide-eyed, and said, I'll give it a shot. See you tomorrow at 8. The service manager made a sound like, ugh, and hung his head and left the room. The rest of the story is pretty easy for anybody to put together. I lasted a solid 3 days there before the pop and the mom and pop operation came to me and said, this just isn't working out. And trying not to be too sarcastic, I was like, that's a shocker. I gotta say though, everybody was super cool there, but it was like becoming part of a competitive swim team, and I had never even learned to tread water. Yeah, they were doing Olympic qualifying lengths of the pool, and I was standing on the side, splashing in the puddles, cheering them on. But they didn't need a cheerleader. There were a couple of times they looked at me like I was stupid when they were trying to show me how to do stuff or trying to train me. I was upfront with them. I have no experience with this. I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I know what a bumper is, but I have no idea how to price one out or how to use this system. I wrote lots of stories and took pictures of car accidents. Does that count? It was a busy shop. These people did not have the time to nanny me. Sadly, the delivery driver position was also filled around the same time as the advising tech. Shook that guy's hand on the way out too. In retrospect, I should have said, yeah, I'll take the delivery driving job and get that guy and put him in here and see if it works out better for him. But I didn't. That personal experience kind of correlates to one of my characters in my latest book, Larry's Cabin. Because he wanted a free cup of coffee, He pulled into a main used car dealership. You know how these places have these really awesome coffee machines. And just decided to get one for free. And he ended up talking to a couple of people. Turned out one of them was the owner of the business, Garrett Hayes, who just asked, "Have you ever slung steel?" Way of asking if he had ever sold cars. In the book, Ethan doesn't say anything. But Garrett notices that Ethan looks out at the lot, considering how he would go about doing it. And that's what gets him the job. Yeah, I should have been more assertive when it came to my lack of qualifications for auto body work.